Hi, I'm Octavian, and today I wanted to talk about the Season of Discovery PvP and why I think Blizzard should focus more on it, along with some ideas on how to fix it, or at the very least, balance it a little more. This will be coming from the perspective of an Alliance player on Crusader, the main PvP server. I remember back in the day of original classic World of Warcraft. Once players completed their journey to 60, they would often begin raiding with their friends to get the best of the best gear. But PvE content was only half of the game, because after the raids were over, players would meet up front and duel all day. There would be world PvP everywhere. Low levels being ganked by 60s and asking for help in the defense channels, while at the same time, all the BGs were thriving. Players wanted to show off their hard-earned gear and use it to dominate players in the open world. In the real world, I'd see people proudly walking around representing their factions. But today I see players often AFK in the cities. They do the raids and log off till next lockout and avoid PvP and BGs and the open world. But why? Why on a PvP server do people raid log today? Where is the passion of playing Horde and Alliance? Where is the passion for PvP? Maybe we can break that down throughout this video. There is so much PvE content thrown in the game. We got ZG, MC, BWL, the world bosses, the Royale farming for dungeon world tours, the rep grinds that are not even account wide, by the way. All this is great for the PvE player, but as for PvP, we have the same BGs from Classic with arguably worse changes being implemented, with the health boost and the damage reduction combo making tanks almost unkillable. Over this past weekend, Blizzard having the losing team gain 2 marks of honor, incentivizing losing for maximum honor. I could not stand doing BGs. I would be insulted for capping the flag, but at the same time, there's not even good rewards to work towards when you are already max reputation. For BGs, I think they should increase the honor gained from kills to incentivize actual PvP while putting time limits to make sure the losing team would not be farmed for hours. They could also display the total damage and healing done on the leaderboards for a little extra flex for the player. I believe these are great and simple fixes for the BGs, but they are only a small piece of this PvP pie. In retail World of Warcraft for years, patch after patch, expansion after expansion, Blizzard has tried to balance the PvP for group gameplay. Raided battlegrounds, 2v2, 3v3, 5v5 arenas. So in retail, every class has a kick, a stun, a gap closer, an immunity, etc., while at the same time making fights last for minutes, as you can only kill the target within a cooldown window. In my opinion, PvP in retail is exhausting. But listen, this is Season of Discovery. This is where we try new things and see how it works. We never had mage healing, rogue tanks, or warlock tanking before, so why not try new things in this version of Discovery while we can? I personally think we should focus more on solo PvP. Give a scenario where the Alliance and the Horde can duel together with their PvP disabled to limit griefing. Whether it be a queued instance or a dueling area that we can teleport to. Allow us to duel in cities. This would bring entertainment to those who are just passing through. But not only that, reset the cooldowns after duels in the cities. The players will be able to make proper dueling tournaments that include the best of the best from both factions. We could have 1v1 arenas with spectators, or a 5v5 arena where we go in one at a time. We could have bounty systems where players who kill lobbies would get tagged and offer an award if killed. I also think it would be insane if they allowed us to collect ears in the open world that can only be obtained if a player is killed in a 1v1, and you can only take an ear from that player once per day, that we could trade a collection to a vendor for gold or legendary weapon. I don't know, I'm spitballing here. I'm just a PvPer craving some PvP content. The STV event, in my opinion, was amazing. A free-for-all with a 5-man team cap, a 30-second immunity timer with a speed boost, so many different combinations of teams, and not one side dominating everyone. The PvP was incredible, but the rewards are lacking. But in the new Black Rock Mountain event, one faction will dominate the other, making the losing faction stuck on a 2-minute rest timer on the way to Black Rock Depths, MC, or BWL. Players complained how we had a 2-minute rest timer and no res angel in the PvP event. And Blizzard answered the cries of the players by putting an angel in the center of Black Rock Mountain and adding an additional 20 seconds of immunity on top of the 2-minute rest timer, giving me enough time to load a dab quite often. If you ask me how could they fix Black Rock Mountain, I'd say they could put a 40-man raid cap and make it a free-for-all like STV. This way, not one faction will dominate, but one team of 40 people that could easily be challenged by another 40 men, whether it be from the same faction or not. But right now, almost every time the winning faction will be Horde. Why, you ask? Well, let me tell you. Let us compare the racials of the Horde to the Alliance on a PvP server, beginning with the Horde. For the Yoke, they have an axe specialization which gives them +5 to axes, but Blizzard put all the racial +5 weapon skills to a ring, so this one does not matter. Blood Fury increases the base melee attack power by 25%, but reduces the healing by 50%. This is huge for warriors, rogues, and enhancement shamans. Command increases the hunter and warlock pet damage by 5%. And the incredible hardness, which gives all orcs a chance to resist stuns by 25%. Before we continue, you telling me, all because you are an orc, you have a 25% chance to resist a stun as a racial passive? That's crazy to me. As a comparison, a paladin can use 2 talent points and put them into unyielding faith, which only gives them a 10% chance to resist fear. For the Tauren, the only good PvP ratios they have are the extra 5% health and Wolf Stomp. Trolls have Berserking, which increases attack speed from 10 to 30%, depending on their HP, and Regeneration, increasing their total health regeneration by 10%. And Undead, they have Cannibalize, allowing them to regenerate 35% of HP outside of combat. And of course, Will of the Forsaken, removing Charm, Fear, and Sleep effects. Now, onto the Alliance. For the Dwarf, they have Stone Form, granting immunity to bleed, poison, and disease effects. Pretty good. Gnomes get 5% extra mana and Escape Artist, allowing them to remove slows. Night Elves get 1% increased dodge chance and Shadow Meld that can't be used in combat. And for human, our best ratio for PvP was the +5 skill with the sword and maces, but they took that from us and they put it on a ring. So now humans only have Perception, of which is one of, if not, the weakest racials of all racials. Rarely does it allow you to find a rogue actually trying to kill you. But as you can see, the Horde racials are far, far better than the Alliance. The strongest classes right now are Shaman and Hunter, both of which benefit greatly from the Orc. Remember, this is the time where we discover new things. I believe an easy way to not completely balance the game, but at least balance the factions a little more, would be to allow dwarfs to be shamans and Tauren to be paladin, but also allowing us to choose our combination of 3 or 4 racials on character creation. This would allow players to play the class and the faction they want to play and not be forced into a meta of racials. On PvE servers, players will gravitate more towards the PvE ratios, where on PvP servers, players will be using the best PvP ratios. So as a summary, I would like to see more honor gain in BGs to player kills with time limits. Also, fix the leaderboard to show healing and damage done. Give the player the option to choose any racial combination they like from the character creation. Tauren Paladin and Dwarf Shaman. Focusing more on 1v1 PvP instead of group PvP. Give us 1v1 arenas with spectators, dueling in cities with cooldown resets, a way to make gold from PvP like collecting ears, a safe zone for holding the alliance to duel with PvP disabled, the basic tools for the players to make their own dueling tournaments. Make the Black Rock Mountain event more like STV. Make it a free-for-all with 40-man raid cap, so not one faction will always dominate the other. And also with only a 30-second immunity timer. A bounty system to promote world defense to combat low B griefers, and a PvP legendary weapon for each class. I wish to bring back the love to our factions, where the Horde and the Alliance players can proudly represent their faction with strength and honor, and not because of the racials. Let me know your ideas and what you guys think of all this in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And thanks for watching.